talking about the county investment policy and why people should care about it, right? And maybe some people don't even know that the county has an investment policy. Why would a local government invest money in the first place?
Well, the idea by state law says that every county and every state should have an investment policy because we're dealing with tax dollars. So you want to make sure that the tax dollars are actually going to the right places and not being invested fraudulently, but always invested in the best interest of the public. So Jefferson County follows the state law, plus we also have our own investment policy, which the county treasurers are allowed to have, and then they're reviewed periodically to make sure they're up to date. We just reviewed our investment policy, which has been around since before I was here, and we added some more definitions, some more instrument definitions, and also the SRI, which is Social Responsible Investment Policy, and that's going to be what we'll be talking about today is what we did. We added some additional verbiage.
Jefferson County has added something called socially responsible investing to its policy. What does that mean in everyday terms?
It just means that we're making sure that we're practicing ethical investing. With that, it's ESG, so environmental, social, and corporate governance. Making sure that these companies and issuers are practicing fair labor practices, making sure that they have good environmental practices, like not practicing on animals, but also have good governance.
Yeah, and for example, we invest in municipal bonds. So we want to look at the city or the county that we're investing in to make sure, in Colorado, and make sure that they're following these types of practices. We wouldn't want to invest in a town or a city in Colorado that had civil rights violations, worker violations, public safety violations, or the town was polluting the river next to them. So that's what we look at. Jefferson County has been following, unofficially, socially responsible investing, but what we wanted to do was put it in writing, especially for the new commissioners coming in and the new treasurer coming in January. And basically it says we're going to invest in companies and corporations and governments that take care of the environment, are looking at quality governance and quality operations. For example, we wouldn't want to invest in a company that's completely always polluting the environment. That's the environmental. Or we wouldn't want to actually invest in a company that has violating civil rights or workers' rights. And then the governance part is we wouldn't want to invest in municipal bonds or county bonds of different county or different entity that's violating workers' rights as well, or it has policies that are detriment to the DEI type of idea, which is diversity, equity, inclusion. And we want to make sure that everybody is being treated fairly at that company. Vicki can actually explain how we find that out about every entity that we're investing in through our software.
We use Bloomberg, and it actually has a profile for ESG for each issuer or company, where we can look at what kind of products they're investing in. So are they testing on animals? Are they gambling, stuff like that, and then it also has different scores that we can look at to see if they are a good company that we want to put our money in.
So for example, we definitely wouldn't want to invest in a company that was private prisons, or we wouldn't want to invest in a company that was continually polluting the ocean or rivers, and that's all listed in the software, so we stay away from them. And or a government that's violating civil rights within their people.
Yeah. Thanks. Why should residents care about all this? Okay, the county's doing this with my money. They're using some sort of Bloomberg software. Why should we care?
Well, the county treasurers play an important role because we collect property taxes and we distribute that money out every 10th of the month. So it's tax dollars, and we have to make sure that money that hasn't been distributed yet is earning interest, because then the county commissioners can use those funds for additional projects and services. So it's taxpayer money, it has to be protected, invested properly, and then the county commissioners, so like for example, we predicted $16 million in interest revenue for 2026. Well, now we're predicting $18 million. So that's $2 million that the county can either put in the savings, we can invest, or the county commissioners, based on their public input, could use that project for more road and bridge or more whatever project or service that the county needs. This money is taxpayer money that's being invested into the taxpayer pool of projects and services. So that's what's important about it, is you don't want us losing taxpayer money or investing in something that's going to lose money or cause problems, you know. And like I said, we would never invest in private prisons. And there's a lot of folks across Colorado and in Jeffco that do not like private prisons. So that's where the money is being invested so that we're following the SRI.
How do we balance it all with the ESG considerations with, of course, making sure that the investments are successful and with the priorities of safety, liquidity, and yield? How do we balance all of that?
We've been following this policy since 2019, but we finally put it on paper. But what we want to do is make sure that the returns are there for the public, because we are fiduciary. We want to get the best return on the tax dollars for the public. And so far we've been able to do that following the SRI, and also ESG, which stands for environmental, social, and government. So what we're doing now is what we've been doing in the past, and the last 2 years we've had record interest rate earnings. And you can maybe talk more about how we're not seeing any detriment to our investment policy or our returns based on this.
Yeah. Like Jerry said, we've had record-breaking years with interest income, and there also has been studies seeing if practicing SRI or ESG impacts the overall return of portfolios. The Royal Bank of Canada actually did one, and they looked at SRI indexes versus the traditional indexes, and they didn't really see much of a difference in terms of the overall return. So I think that just proves that we're prioritizing safety, liquidity, and yield, but also making sure that we're being good stewards of the county's funds and making sure that we're practicing what we believe is right.
Right, and we're not the only ones doing this. I mean, other counties, other states are doing the same thing. So the companies that we're investing in also have high ratings, and as other people invest, other governments invest into those instruments, their value rises. So it's a win-win, and we haven't seen any detriment to our for portfolio since we started in 2019, and it's just getting better. And then now we put it on paper so that everybody can see it and read it. The previous finance officer was here for 35 years almost, and so he did a great job, and he was doing this unofficially as well when I came in. But Nikki's been here about a year, and she's our new Treasury Finance Officer because our previous one retired. So my goal was, with Nikki coming in fresh, we wanted to look at the investment policy, update it, and then we present that to the Board of County Commissioners as a review. All that information about the distribution is also on the county website under Treasurer, plus all the investing is on the county website under the Treasurer's office.